Hello friends! Today's news are very interesting, although we are asked to be patient because not everything will be immediate, but victory is assured according to the sources. This is not triumphalism, because the evidence of deception is very solid and abundant. Opinion article: Victory is in sight. What's coming is huge. The truth will come out. Covert military operation. Communication to a minimum. The president reiterates his triumph. He don't want to wait until 2024. He wants to come back in 3 weeks. There is still time to change the outcome. They want to eliminate foreign interference. President could declare martial law. He will not be satisfied with his re-election. He will do justice. This is a battle for the liberation of humanity. In quotes, nothing has to happen until January, says Simon Parks. In quotes, the Trump wants to create the United States of China. The speech in Georgia marks the beginning of the victory. It's not known whether the change will come in December or January. They want to seal off the escape routes before presenting the evidence. In quotes, sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. Once they take action, all defendants who are able to do so will flee. The emergency is over because the pendulum swings to the positive side. Let's start. The entire Trump card castle and the propaganda media are beginning to collapse. The deception that is taking place is unprecedented. States are now ordering signature verification. The Republican team is analyzing the dominant voting system. A video has come out documenting the anomaly. The world is watching and the swamp is now exposed to everyone. The president has announced a massive election victory, while the legal team shows startling evidence of the election fraud. The swamped Democrats are frightened by the collapse of their attempted COP, as more people wake up to the many irregularities in the voting that have not been reported by the mainstream media. This is not only a battle between two political parties, but a battle for the liberation of humanity. Should we wait until January? There are many people who are very frustrated and angry, and they want the truth to come out right now, so their family and friends that their perception of the propaganda media is wrong. But Simon Parks says that nothing has to happen until January. Those who are working to protect the Constitution know that they have time and do not need to solve it next week. This time is being used by the white hats to make sure that not only the evidence is ready to be presented in court, but also that all escape routes are sealed off, because they know that once the action starts, they will run away as many as possible. Therefore, they must have the resources at the right time to prevent the leaks. Simon Parks believes that the emergency is now over because the pendulum has swung to the positive side and everything is under control. This is over now, and in the coming days this case will make this way to the Supreme Court. The operations will be done both in the public and behind the scenes, and great changes will come. Don't think that the president will be satisfied with being re-elected and that he will continue with more 4 years of the same. He has about 350 electoral votes and is legally taking control of the Congress and the Senate through the actual election results. So he will control all the powers of the state before making a very extensive cleanup operation. The military will not accept deception or lies. Foreign interference. Simon Parks is convinced that the head of the Snow White has not died, and some sources said that she was slightly injured and she is alive. She is cooperating fully and giving a lot of information to save herself. She is receiving plastic surgery to give her a new identity as a protected witness. Sometimes we don't like agreements, but the information he has is so important that it is worth doing, especially when you are pressed for time. A lot of evidence is coming out, and one of the most important pieces of evidence was when the Kraken took the control of the hardware and software of this treacherous operation to take power illegally. They have recordings of telephone conversations of the USA with China, asking for advice on the ballots and votes, and this is related to the foreign interference in the elections. Iran and Russia are also involved because the Russian quagmire is for their own benefit. The Russian swamp, is for their own benefit. But China and Iran want to bring down the USA. But here is a lot of evidence that it's not being shared because it is not the time to show all the cards to the bad guys. In 3 weeks' time, in quotes, I don't want to wait until 2024. I want to be back in the White House in 3 weeks, said the president. In his first rally since the end of the election campaign, the president also called on his supporters to participate in the election to take back Congress in 2022. The president said this Saturday that he still hopes to officially win the presidential elections on November 3rd. Speaking at the first rally in front of his supporters after the end of the election campaign in Valdosta, Georgia, the president called on his supporters to be more active in the forthcoming elections. The president delivered his most important speech and promised to protect the electoral system, which is now under coordinated assault and siege. In quotes. The next big victory for a moment starts right here on January 5th, the day of the runoff election for Georgia's representative in the Senate. And then we are going to take back the White House. We are going to take it back. And we are going to take back Congress in 2022, he said. The president also referred to the possibility of participating in the next election in 4 years. In quotes, in 2024, hopefully, I won't have to be a candidate. We will regain the White House. I don't want to wait until 2024. I want to be back in 3 weeks, he added. Intelligence alert. Operation Disclosure Intelligence Alert of Saturday, December 5th. First, according to sources, communications are being kept to a minimum for the ongoing US elections fraud military sting operation. Second, a sting operation involves law enforcement agency officials actively participating in and sometimes orchestrating an operation against a single individual committing illegal acts, gang activities, or takedown of an entire multinational criminal enterprise. Third, rumors suggest the National Council of Statewide Interoperability Coordinators of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, is a direct reference to the well-known letter. Fourth, also, the assistant director of the CISA recently resigned, which may indicate that he was compromised. Fifth, Q post 4951. Shall we play a game? Sixth, nothing can stop what is coming. Seventh, who stepped down today? Fourth, eighth, more coming. 9. Why is this relevant? 10th, how do you show the public the truth? 11th, how you safeguard US elections post-voters. 12th, how do you remove foreign interference and corruption and install US-owned voter ID laws and other safeguards? 13, it had to be this way. 14th, sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. 15th, the CCP is heavily involved in manipulating the US elections. 16. If evidence of foreign interference is demonstrated, President Trump is allowed to declare martial law under the pretext of his executive order passed in 2018. 17. China's main contender on the global stage is the US. 18. If they control the US or even destroy the US, the rest of the world is at their mercy. 19. We are currently seeing the exposing of the swamp in government, in the mainstream media, and in social media for all to see. 20. Sources believe this must be done before martial law and the Insurrectional Act is declared to begin the mass arrest to avoid civil unrest. 21. Meanwhile, massive economic changes and global monetary reform are expected once the 2020 US election is resolved. And 22nd, victory is in sight. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot for listening. Thank you, friends.